You're watching the 420 Pace Network, found at 420radio.ca and paceradio.net.
You're watching the Three High Guys with Al, MJ, and the other Al on the 420 Pace.
The opinions of the individuals during this broadcast are their own and may not be the opinions of their group or other organizations they may be involved with. All medical advice during our broadcast is not a medical opinion and should be checked with your medical physician.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Three High Guys. Hi, guys.
Hi.
What you drinking?
I got water.
Mm.
I got water.
I'm having
tea.
some red
I got
rose.
smart.
I have red rose. What the heck is that? Is that what a tea?
So this is actually the best tea cup ever. I don't even think you can buy them anymore. They were Christmas specials from Tim Hortons. So good luck.
And it's for tea?
It's for tea, coffee. I will say I used to have trouble, and I know you know this, Al. I'd be constantly going, "Are we taking break? Because I want to go reheat my tea." Well, now I don't have to.
I was just gonna say I'll be right back.
Now I don't have to. This thing is amazing. Amazing. It definitely keeps it hot.
Next Tim Hortons I go into, which might be this afternoon, I might go to Marathon today. I'm going to get one because I am so sick. The air here in Terrace it's different. You feel it differently in your chest, and the air is
Heavier?
damp.
Well, see, this is why we've got new names on our name tags there. You're Northern Ontario, Al, because you're up north, and I'm Southern Ontario, Al, because I'm down here on the south end of Ontario. Right? And you're just up there in that northern heavy...
I'm in nose picking areas.
Oh,
There's that didn't come out right.
No.
I'm at the most northern tip of Lake Superior.
Yes, that's north. So today on the show we've got Al.
And Al's on the Trenton Canal. Sorry,
yeah, I'm just off the
in my head.
I'm now over by Belmont Lake. Oh yes. Today on the program we got Al's list or short list.
It's my high list.
MJ, you got some health and what other news? Events news, right?
Yeah, I've got the morning motivational, sort of like motivational mornings with MJ, and then of course the health segment. And
Yes.
and events.
Yeah, and I got some news.
Sorry.
We got some we got a cannabis news. We got a cannabis news article, and we've got some sports news as well that we're gonna get into today. So
What was that?
So what do you say?
Short sports, sports shorts.
Sports shorts, all that
Sport.
type of stuff.
We
Now,
should just call it sports.
Sports.
Schwartz. The just so anybody knows, if you got any comments or anything you want to say, by all means, anybody who's watching, if you're watching, especially while we're live, we will get back to you. So if you got anything
also,
you want to say,
if you have any stuff you want us to try and review, and there's 3 of us here, you'll get 3 different opinions, and there you go.
there you go. Exactly. Yeah. I was doing some sample testing over the weekend, actually. So.
Were you? I have not had any edibles in a very long time, and I've been eyeballing the Coca-Cola. It's not Coca-Cola. The cola drinks at my cannabis here in Terrace Bay.
Oh yeah, and what do you think?
Well, it's not going to do anything for me, Al.
Yeah, I know, right?
You know.
Have you
Yeah.
purchased any yet?
I have had a cola, but not in a while. I've had a Kool-Aid, the one that Darcy sent me, which I actually didn't, I didn't mind it. It would have been good with some vodka, right? But obviously,
Which technically they can't sell to you that way.
No, but we can do it.
Yeah.
I didn't enjoy it from the point that it's a distillate, and I don't really like distillates, especially edibles. but it was a drink. It
Oh.
lasted a few days.
That reminds me, distillates. Do you remember we had a conversation, MJ, on distillates and live rosins and vape pens and everything? I don't know if you saw my post this weekend of my first rosin vape cartridge that I purchased.
Exploding, yeah.
It leaked and leaked.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Well,
That-
the one that you
battery's
the one,
toast now because it just
the one
Yeah.
that you
So
and
Go
you
ahead.
said the Shatterizer, it exploded too, and I thought it was just from too much battery from the Shatterizer, too hot. But now I'm seeing a lot of people say that their cartridges are exploding.
it haven't exploded. It just leaks.
Exploded.
Wow.
yeah, so there's all sorts of different. So I've got them. I keep my carts like this,
Yeah.
standing
Yeah.
up when they're not in use, because a
Yeah.
lot of times you just lay your
Then they
vape pen
drip out.
down, and that's and some of them are better than others. Like this one, I had to pull it to get out, so the bottom's already sticky.
Yeah.
Already sticky.
But,
Yeah, there you
but
go.
like you're saying, when it gets in the battery, it's like, what now? Now my 20, like I bought a $20, like there. Okay, so I've got a bunch of them over there, and half of them need to be cleaned, and I don't
Yeah.
know if I can clean them.
And I'm thinking, well, Christ, you spend $50 in a cartridge and it leaks.
And
I have
where do you go for quality control on this? Do you go to
Yeah.
the company of the cart?
Or yeah, like I know that I've commented a few times in a store and they say, yeah, there are some that do that.
Yeah, but see, like these companies are both the exact same, and I
Yeah.
treat them both the same. They have both about the same. This one is all sticky and gunky on the bottom, and this one's fine.
Yeah.
So it's like, is it what's inside? Is it
I don't know.
the container? I think maybe we need to ask the people who make the vape carts or the batteries or
'Cause
the
they all seem to be a industry standard type cart.
Yep.
And like
Yeah, they definitely seem like
no
it.
names on the cartridges. And if you've got like 3 or 4 cartridges, unless you label them yourself, you don't know what's what because all it says is THC on it.
And again,
Yeah,
this
see-
is why I like the Shatterizer, because they have labels on their lids that distinguish which you have in there, and you can see through the glass of the pod, right?
Some
you fill it
companies are
yourself.
actually doing it, but
Make
Tribal,
your
is that
own.
Tribal Gardens?
so yeah, it's
Look
tribal.
like they're-
Okay.
looks
So
like
this
they're-
I know
they're
is
labeled.
tribal. I don't like that I can't take the cannabis sticker off of it. It's literally in it. I don't
It's all
like that.
painted on the glass. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that.
No.
I don't like it. Like, I understand you put your company name on it, but where's the strain name?
Well, they don't.
That's what I would like to
No
know.
I have
strain.
one cartridge that had a name
Wow.
of the company on it, and the rest are all blank. They don't have any strain listed on them, no information. But then if they
Yeah.
put everything on the cartridge, would they be able to see inside?
I don't know, man. I have trouble reading half the things they put on those things, anyways, because in order to print it, it's got to be like this friggin'
It's gotta
big.
be-
I got to pull
I'm
my
having
phone out
trouble
and like
reading
get
my screen.
zoom
Yeah.
in.
Exactly.
Yeah. I thought it was my eyesight going like bad, but it's not. They're starting to put like green writing on blue background or blue writing on green background, and I'm like,
Yeah.
how am I supposed to see this?
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
that's-
you can't see the speaking. You can't see
Mm-mm.
podcast because of my background there. Because but I don't want to look at the wall, so I moved Al over. I could do this.
Whoa,
there you go.
nah. I feel like it was better. Yeah,
It looks good there.
fits better. In
You
that
look like
corner
you're
there.
looking at me.
Yeah.
So, alrighty. Well, anything else off topic before we get into on topic?
Depends on what is off topic.
Well, things that aren't already on planned for the show.
I'm sure I'll come up with something after.
I'm sure you will. All right. Okay. Let's just do a quick little break. All right. And then when we come back, we'll come back with MJ's motivational what do
Oh,
you call it?
While
And I'm gonna
we're
warm
gone,
them.
if anybody has anything they want to like talk about in today's show, feel free to throw a comment up and
Yeah, hit us
we'll
up.
make sure we touch on it later.
Yep.
Yes, exactly. All right.
All right, do what you
I'm
got to
just
do.
trying to
I'm going
decide.
to go warm my tea.
I'm gonna run an interview here with the newbie. He was going around as a
I
non-consumer.
know him.
You know him?
I do.
Wow.
He's the newbie to my doobie.
Yeah, as we know, he's a non-cannabis consumer, and so we're going to
So he
hear what
sings.
yeah,
So he
yeah,
thinks.
yeah.
We
Because
have
even
this discussion with him.
if you're using topicals, you're still your body, because your skin is your largest organ,
Yep.
right?
Yep. You're still
All
a
right,
consumer. Sort of.
just so you know, we got a comment. Cheers.
All right.
I can't pronounce your name. Sorry, Gross. Gerero? I can't pronounce that. Sorry. But thanks for watching and tuning in.
I think it's Guerrero.
Guerrero. There you go. All right. Gonna run that video. It's about 3 minutes, about the normal length of a commercial. And then we'll get into, as I said, your motivational tips and so on and so forth. Right back.
Hey, how are you? Nan? That's not your name? You stole that? Okay, cool. Camille, I'm Timmy. Nice to meet you. From the Newbie Doobie podcast. There you go. That's our podcast. I'm a newbie. So my partner is a longtime consumer. I'm a non-consuming advocate. However, I have been using your topicals, especially in the mornings. So for shoulder pain and neck pain, we've been using the which one is it? Yeah, the cooling gel. So I don't smoke, I don't eat, but the topicals I have been slowly trying, and I've found that your cooling gel has been amazing. So yeah, so that's. No, like talk. It's like if. What would you recommend in general? What is your favorite products? What are the ones that sell best?
Yes. So my colleague here can actually explain that.
Your colleague John King. I don't think either of you actually work for this company.
That's John, and then that's Dig.
So what's your real name?
My name is Fernanda. I'm the QIP at Lupus.
So I don't know if you were hearing me talk to him about I'm a newbie, I'm a non-consumer, but I'm an advocate. And I don't smoke, I don't eat currently, but I do use the topicals, and your cooling gel is the one that I've been using most recently, and it's been incredible. So I just wanted to kind of we're live right now, and I just wanted to kind of hear a little bit more about the product and maybe what some of your best sellers might be and that type of stuff. So
Our main products are the creams and the gel, right? As you said, and we also have some extracts which are ingestibles, which are also very well known by the public. I would say that my personal favorite is the full spectrum. So our products they are normally with a very high concentration of the cannabinoids, which makes them very potent and very good for the use, right, for patients. But the full spectrum, the combination of the CBG, CBD, and THC makes it.
I think my internet is connected. No, I lost the whole internet. It's connected.
Uh-oh.
I don't know. Does that run like that for the whole 3 minutes?
What happened? I lost my internet. Story of my life. It's funny. I was just editing karaoke video, and I literally was like, internet.
I don't even remember that.
Oh, yeah.
Me either. Ugh.
Where was that? Grow Up?
That
That
was
was at
grow
Grow
up.
Up. Yeah.
I will say I know exactly what cream he's talking about because I just tweaked my neck like 2 weeks ago and like couldn't move. It was so painful. I was getting like headaches
Yeah.
just from holding my head up. And if it wasn't for that cream, I would not have survived. Like the pain was making me nauseous until I put that cream on, and then I was able to like move around. So
Right. Good.
like, wow.
Wow. Yeah, it worked that good.
Yeah.
Super.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So now it is time for our
You didn't let it play out.
It did. It played
That
the
was the
whole
whole thing.
Really?
5 seconds.
Oh, really?
5
Okay,
seconds.
I'll make it 7 next time. Just kidding. It's because you said I had 3 minutes, and I was like, roll a joint.
Oh
do
yeah,
the
that
thing.
was during the Timmy interview, but
I know we got
I started
screwed.
thinking, just how long is that? That's like I was the one who put it together. I better check that out.
We did get another comment
Yes.
from Guerrero. It says, like the wrestlers. I love that you think I watch wrestling. I know I call myself one of the guys.
Yeah.
Maybe I should start watching some wrestling. Although I will say, I would like to climb John Cena if I could. Just saying.
God. I don't know how Timmy would feel about that.
Oh, he knows. We each have our own lists.
Yes, I know. His is
Celebrity,
Sandra
so-
Bullock. I know that his is Sandra Bullock because I watched that episode, and she is my crush.
Oh, well, I think.
Oh, I'm so fucking pissed at Jesse James for what he did to her. But anyways, that's a whole other
All
topic.
right, that's not motivation, people.
No, we're going the other way. Okay. Okay. So for motivational mornings, I always like to start with a quote that kind of generally takes us in a direction for the day. Okay. So the quote for today is simple yet confusing all at the same time. So whether you know you can or think you can't, you are 100% correct.
Mary Jane says, not Confucius.
Yeah, I'm like, let me say it again. Whether you know you can or think you can't, you are 100% correct.
Confusion.
So
Yeah.
basically, what we're going to talk about today is the power of belief. So
Right.
if you believe that you can do something, chances are you can. If you believe that you can't, chances are you can't. So I'm going to delve into this. It has to do with if you have the negative thought process,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to fail. It's just plain and simple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
because
Would that work? Would that work if I thought I could climb to the end of that branch off the tree?
well, it depends how thick the branch is. I mean, logic has to take logic. So like,
Okay.
well, I'm like, we're not going to talk logic. We're going to talk mindset.
Okay.
Well, mindset is different than logic. Obviously,
Yeah.
for obvious reasons, right? Like, I don't want you to go climb a branch or do something that's going to
Okay.
hurt
Just
you.
I'm
don't
just
go
double
jump
checking.
off a tree.
No, you cannot fly. I'm not telling you that you can go achieve amazing things because,
Okay.
like, I could never be an NBA player. It's just not going to happen, right?
Yeah, you're too sure.
Could I be good at basketball? Sure. That's a possibility. So basically, if you have a growth mindset, you believe that abilities and intelligence is something that can be developed over time with effort and learning. So if you want to bake something, you want to be a really good baker, you know that if you keep doing it enough and you take classes or whatever,
Right.
that you will get better. That's the growth mindset. There, on the other side, there's something called the fixed mindset. Those are the people that believe everything is static and can never be changed. Basically, I am this way because
code.
I am this way. It is just, that's the way it is. It is what it is, those people, you know?
Right.
So what happens is that with the fixed mindset, you avoid challenges or give up easily. So you're looking at me all confused. What do you do with this information, Mary Jane? What do I do with this? So I'm going to tell you how to put it into action.
All right.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So be self-aware and recognize everything that you believe about your own personal abilities. Be realistic. Can you climb that branch? Can you make it to the edge? Maybe you can, maybe you can't. Is what you believe about your abilities helping you or hindering you? So, do you have a negative belief or do you have a positive belief? And then change it using growth and adapting to change your mindset into the growth mindset. Start replacing can't with can.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, when it comes logic, use logic first, and then take action. Use the mindset to drive your actions. If you believe that you're going to achieve, you're more likely to actually succeed.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah. And just so you know,
So-
we got Guerrero is chiming in here, and he says,
Yes.
I manifest my own destiny.
Yeah. You know, I used to have a lot
Yeah,
of
I get, like if you've
and
got,
I just kind of
yeah,
just like I said, just start saying can.
yeah. If you believe
you
you can
can-
do something,
Yeah.
and yeah, you get the confidence, all that type of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. And if you
You
need
can
help,
answer, you can
ask
do-
somebody. You know, you have that positive friend who's always like super. Reach out to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, don't say
Send
that.
me a
'cause
message.
Everybody and their uncle be reaching out, going and touching you.
Yeah, no. Send me a message. Let me clarify. Send me a message. We'll chat.
All righty. For motivational moment, let's move on to the health and wellness tip of the day or the week, I
What?
should say.
That's me again.
Yeah, that's you again.
I feel like we should do a split here
Well,
because mine are more like
we got,
lectures.
the thing is, you got three. I got. Yeah, I know how you feel. I do two back to back. I know.
That's all right. I feel like I'm reading. Eventually, I'll get more into the jam of it. Okay, so with the
Did we bring
jam,
toast?
there's no jam unless Al has that in his recipe corner. I'm not sure.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
we're not
forgot.
doing. Yeah, I'm not doing jam. But I will talk about the importance of balanced snacking. I feel like as cannabis consumers, we all know what the munchies are.
Balanced snacking.
Yes. So, you know, it's so easy to reach for whatever's handy and is going to satisfy that urge immediately. That's not always the best thing to do. I mean, it's great for our brains and the dopamine, but not so much for our bodies.
Mhm.
My scale has told me so this morning.
Ah,
Yes. So it's really important to start choosing snacks that not only satisfy your cravings, but are building and providing nutritional benefits for you. You don't just want to be eating empty calories.
Empty calories.
If you eat empty calories, it gives you fake energy. You don't even get like sustainable energy. That's why a lot of people are tired in the middle of the day, because what have you eaten today? If it's processed or high in sugar or carb, like chances are it's not, you're not getting what you need.
right.
So I would like to also mention that cannabis and cannabinoids, such as THC, stimulates the brain's reward system. So we have to keep that in mind as we're putting food in our faces, because it's also feeding into this euphoric feeling of food is already tasting better, no matter what you're putting in there. Therefore, it's more important, in my opinion, to be conscious of what you're eating.
Can I add to that?
Yes.
Yeah, go
I was
ahead.
just going to ask a question. So yeah.
I had I don't remember where I brought this up. I don't know if we brought it up on the 420 show or not, but I was watching a little thing about popcorn. And popcorn, if you eat popcorn on an empty stomach, it stimulates your bowels and your stomach, but it also, all the enzymes in it, and they go right to your brain and they stimulate your brain and get you moving and stuff like that.
Popcorn would be my death.
Popcorn.
I do
know,
know
eh?
that popcorn will make. So I used to have, because I suffer with IBS.
Yeah, I get issues with popcorn too, but
So
you know.
no, apparently popcorn, if you have, if you're constipated, they say eat popcorn.
It's the
Really?
rough
Popcorn will give you the runs.
or nuts.
Yeah, it'll give you the runs.
Yeah.
So that's not surprising that they say that about popcorn.
when-
and
when
this
you
is
have
this
an
is just
issue-
one more thing that I'm like, it's important that we pay
Yeah.
attention
Yeah.
to what we're putting in. A lot of
Unfortunately,
people
though, if
don't
you-
even
if you
know
have
what
an
they're
issue-
putting in.
If you have an issue with Crohn's like Al does, you can't eat nuts and
Oh,
corn and vegetables like that, right? Like
Yeah.
I have a hard
Yep.
time with corn and stuff, so I have to eat.
Well,
clean corn,
somebody
right?
like Southern Ontario Al would know what he's eating.
Oh, no,
Like,
that's
if I
not me.
ask if I ask him, what have you eaten today or what have you had yesterday? I bet you could tell me because it's all safe food and stuff that
Yeah,
you know that
yeah.
you can eat. But
Yeah.
somebody like Northern Ontario Al, if I asked him, what did you eat yesterday? I think he might have a
Cheeseburger and
harder
French
time.
fries.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
No.
Like
I-
that's
You know what?
I
I eat very much the same every day. I like my
Mhm.
rice bowls. I
Yep.
like meat. I like
Mhm.
potatoes, and I like pasta. So I eat a
So-
lot of starchy foods.
But what do you guys
Yeah.
snack on? This is my question. What do you guys like if you're like feeling the munchies? What do you go to the cupboard and grab, or in the kitchen?
Cookies
What are
or
you
chips.
getting?
Cookies,
Okay.
chips, popcorn, although not
Bad
very
choice.
often.
Bad choice.
Oh
bad
yes, I know
choice.
that. of
Right?
course.
Like this is okay. So Al, what would you
Well,
grab? Southern Ontario Al.
my munchies would be some probably bad things that I can tolerate because
Okay.
I have to
What
eat
is
so
what
safe
is a
how the
bad
rest
thing
of
you
the
can
days.
tolerate though?
Oh, I can have some potato chips and
Oh.
stuff like that.
Really? I figured with the oils you wouldn't. I guess probably specific ones.
Yeah. Well, there's other things that there's some that are
Yeah.
really oily that I
Yeah.
avoid. Yeah.
Okay.
But when I go to events, there's always vegetable trays and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Cold vegetables cut that you can
Yep.
dip and stuff. I avoid the little mini sandwiches because they're full of
Yeah.
processed or deli food normally.
I love
Yeah.
deli food.
Yeah, that's the traditional. Like if you go somewhere, they do sandwiches and veggies. Sometimes you get
Right.
like a platter of fruit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I look for.
Okay, so I would say definitely the fruits and vegetables are a better option.
Yes.
So this
We
is
have-
this is the
we have-
part I'm gonna talk about. I'm gonna give you a couple different options.
Okay.
Change it
Mom.
up. So for example, avocado toast with hemp
Yeah.
seeds.
Who seeds? Oh no
With
seeds.
hemp seeds, if you can handle hemp seeds.
Yeah.
If not, skip the hemp seeds. Just have
Right.
the avocado toast as a protein boost, omega-3 fatty acids.
I don't eat bread.
And then we've got, see, and I'm like, I know there's somebody who's
I do,
celiac,
But
and
very
they
little.
have special bread
yeah.
that they got.
Yeah,
So
I-
of course, all of these things can be altered. Like number 2 on the list is Greek yogurt with berries and nuts.
You know what?
Maybe you don't like berries, you just like bananas, and you want a non-dairy yogurt.
No bananas, but I don't mind. I don't mind a light yogurt, although I'm having issues with lactose.
You eat lactose free.
Yeah,
Yep.
but the lactose-free stuff just has the enzymes that you need, and sometimes it's worse.
Well, there is coconut.
Yeah.
Yoso makes a delicious. There's one that's coconut, and then there's one that's almond. I
I
prefer
like
the
the
coconut.
almond. I don't like the coconut. I don't
And
like
see,
flavor of
Okay.
coconut.
I love the coconut one. It's so good, so good.
Yeah, I know. I
and
don't. I
then
don't
of
even like
course,
the smell of coconut.
Go ahead,
Southern
Mary Jo.
Ontario Al mentioned veggies and dip. Hummus is a great choice.
Yeah.
Fun fact: veggies, carrots, Vinta roasted red pepper crackers and hummus, the roasted red pepper hummus. Those 3 things is what I killed my munchies with, because I promise you, if you only give yourself a healthy option to eat as munchies,
Mhm.
you're going to develop the munchies less and less, because you're not going to want to eat those
Yeah, 'cause
carrots
it's just yeah, it's just
and
in there.
hummus
It's just
all
even
the
though
time.
even though a chip is a potato,
Yep.
it's the
It's so
process of
different
getting it
when
to
it's
it to a chip. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
See, I'm
And
I'm a
then
victim of cheese and cracker lady. My mom had lots of cheese and
um,
crackers and wine parties, so we
crackers
spent
in general, I
we
think.
spent many evenings preparing platters and stuff like that for my mom's parties, and so now I like saltines and cheese. I like mushrooms. Um, um, a cut up button mushroom with a little dip or something, or even a slice of cheese rolled up in a piece of salami. Anyways, go on.
Sounds like you're getting the munchies now. That's hilarious. And then the last option I have for you is dark chocolate and almonds. It's good for you because the dark chocolate is going to
Or
satisfy your
cherry.
craving and is loaded with antioxidants. Pairing it with almonds gives you a mix of healthy fats and proteins. It's
Yep.
gives it like a
Yeah.
balance. Yeah.
And I
And
think
if
that's
I
something
can
to do
tell
with
you
almonds.
anything, preparation is huge.
Yeah.
Buying this healthy food means
Preparation is the
nothing.
key.
It is H. It's huge. It's nothing if you put it in the fridge and you just let it rot. Okay. If you just let it rot, there's no point.
I don't think that people like my mushroom comment because there's now only one person watching.
That's all
Uh,
right. They're in and out. Maybe they've
Yeah.
gone to the kitchen to get some food because we've been
Yeah,
talking
we
about
made
the
them hungry.
munchies.
You weren't supposed to
They always
leave.
get something to eat. They would have
Yeah,
get something to eat.
hopefully
So,
you've made a good choice. But yeah, I'd say prepare the healthy things when you get home. Make sure you have them available, because if you have to go in the kitchen and prep the healthy food and you've already got the munchies, chances are you're going to walk away with cookies or chips.
well, you know, there's one thing about chips. I consider them crunchy food.
They
Crunchy
are.
They actually make
So are
noise.
carrots.
They make noise when I eat because everything I eat has to be normally is soft. It doesn't make
Yeah.
any noise. Alrighty. Are you done?
Yeah. I
Okay.
think that's
All
it.
right.
Yeah.
We're moving
I'm
on.
hungry.
We're well. Okay.
Sorry.
Maybe your list will help. We're moving on
It's
to.
about balance.
It's certainly high on the list.
All
High
right.
Make
five.
that. I love Bing. So today I got a list, and it's longer than you guys think.
All right.
So this is our list, and I'm going to actually ask Al if he wouldn't mind helping me with the reading, but I'm going to start it off.
Okay.
This is tried and tested tips for finding the best cannabis products for relaxation. It's a big industry, as you
Yeah.
can read here. We're going to go down here to choosing the right strain for relaxation. When it comes to relaxing, you need to remember one thing, or two things actually. It depends on the strain. It depends on the individual. Everybody reacts differently
Yeah.
to different strains, different methods, and things. We'll get into methods after this. You got your 3 strains, although there is a 4th strain, but we won't go there. It's called Ruderalis, and a lot of people who grow will use that to. What exactly does that do, Al?
That's
Adding
the
root-
auto flowering end of things.
Okay. All right. So you got your indica strains, which is your couch, lock, stage.
No.
Usually
No.
very calming and sedate.
Where does it say that?
It says right there.
Stays right there beside indica strains.
Fake news. Where did you get this?
No, hold on. Let's go through this and because I know for a fact that there are 3 strains, but there are many different. effects. Okay, because I have ADHD, a sativa may react differently to me than it would to somebody who doesn't have it. Same with
But
an indica. So,
but can I just
but
point out
but
that the subclasses of indica,
yeah, sure, there are
sativa,
indicas that act
and
like
wait,
sativas and
wait,
sativas that
no,
act like
no,
indicas.
that's not what I was going to say.
They're called hybrid.
Indicas, sativas, and hybrids are all defined not by what they do or their effects. It's defined by their visuals, the way they grow, the way their leaves are.
Yes, it's the
That's
plant
it.
itself.
It's the cannabinoids and the terpenes in those strains that give you the effects.
Correct. Now,
That's
would
why
you
I'm
like?
like, no, it's wrong. Okay, keep going.
It's not completely wrong, Mary Jane. Okay,
Well,
it's
when
not.
you think indica, I
Well,
know I always think relaxing,
That's right.
couch
so
vibe. People
so
think,
that's
and a
because
short,
most of the
plant
cannabinoids that are
with
in
big fat
indicas,
leaves.
yeah, but most of the cannabinoids that are
Mm.
generally in indicas are like myrcene and things like that. That's why you
Or
say most people say
terpenes,
they
yeah.
get the similar effects from indicas, but I'm like, no, but like yes, but no. So that's why I say go ahead.
And some people don't even like using these terms. They use cultivars instead.
What's the other one? Cultivar and chemovar. Chemovar.
Carnivore, something that eats.
No, Ira used to use two: a cultivar and a chemovar, or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah,
What
and
the
they also,
friggin'
like, even though when legalization came in, there was a big attempt to basically remove these indica and sativa and hybrid labels. It's something like I know I can walk into my store downtown here, and right there on the thing it'll say sativa, indicas.
Oh, I know very well, and that would have come up in the
But
conversation
yeah,
if I
it
was
does
allowed
come
to.
down. A lot of it does come down to the makeups of the plants, the
And the
terpenes,
person.
yeah.
And the person.
Oh.
But
Yeah,
for the layman, okay, that's just grabbing a doobie, if you like that strain, smoke it. And if you don't.
yeah.
But indicas are indicouch is what they're called. Usually a very calming and a sedate effect, but there are lots of indicas that act like a sativa, and there's a lot of sativas that act like an indica. I like a sativa because I don't like the feeling of being depressed, and that's the feeling I get when I'm couch locked.
Can I read something here before you
Sure.
move on? Just
Is that behind
since
your
we're
cue
talking
card?
about this. Yeah, no, it's on the phone. So it says sativa, according to the original system, sativa strains are generally uplifting and energetic,
Yep.
characterized by a head high, whereas indica strains were more calming, relaxing, and stress relieving.
Right.
Several studies have now challenged this classification, finding that the product names did not accurately distinguish chemical compositions or THC potency. Often samples sharing the same name did not look similar. Psychopharmacology researcher Dr. Ethan B. Russo called the sativa indica distinction as total nonsense and an exercise in futility. He added, one cannot in any way currently guess the biological content of a given plant based on its height, branching, or leaf morphology. So basically, I'm not going to read anymore, but that's what I'm saying. It's just, I know that the terpenes and the cannabinoids are generally similar in a lot of the indica type strains. So that's why people feel the same. And that's why Al's saying when he does a sativa, it makes him feel different, where somebody else can consume that same sativa and it doesn't have the same effect.
And the
Because
reason
it's a
for
different
that
cannabinoid in there.
The reason for that, in my case, is because my serotonin levels are different, and cannabis affects your serotonin levels.
Yeah.
Very, very, very heavily.
Yeah. I just don't want people to go in and get a sativa and think we're an indica and think. So that information, that line where it said that one thing about effect, that's incorrect. Doesn't mean the article's incorrect. So let's move on.
Let's move on to the hybrids. The hybrids are usually a mix of strains. You look at the strains that are a part of that plant, and then you go from there. And if you like it, you like it, and if you don't, you don't.
And-
There are some things that you need to be careful with. Sometimes different strains will get your brain going a little bit too much, and then then you think you're having a heart attack, and then you think you got to go to the hospital, and then you're told that you're an idiot because you smoked too much pot. But the fact of the matter is some strains can affect things if you have mental health issues, and you need to be very specific in what you're using. Otherwise, if you're using it for medical purposes, otherwise you're kind of defeating the whole purpose of using it.
As you said, cannabis isn't for everybody.
No, it is not.
Just like cheeseburgers aren't for everybody. I can't.
Yes, they are.
Right. And
Fun
cannabis.
fact: if you consume and feel too intoxicated or too out of, whatever, they say CBD can help counteract the effects of THC. But Neil Young for years has been talking about just chew on some black pepper. And now we know that black pepper has caryophyllene or caryophyllene, whatever that terpene is. And we know that actually helps calm and bring down and counteract THC. So if you're feeling a little too messed up, grab some black pepper. See if it works. Just don't breathe it in.
Yeah, don't sniff it. Yeah, or literally just eat something with a little black pepper.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Okay, let's move on to this. There's lots of different ways that you can consume edibles.
Wait, where's the...
We got to put the list back up.
Well, who took it down?
I just want to say that I personally like when growing indica plants. Growing indica plants because their leaves are so freaking beautiful. They're so fat. They're like big hands.
I get that because I'm not having wait. I'm not having here. It's my segment. Shut up. I'm not having. I'm not amused with the CBD plants that I'm trying. They're very tall. They got very little going on down at the bottom, and they're not appealing to look at all. But
you're comparing them to the other ones too.
The indica plant that I have, the two, the Pineapple Express is very tall, but the Northern Lights 2 is short and is starting to look like you would see in a picture of a cannabis farm outside. The big round dome, right?
Mm-hmm.
A friend and very, very well known and beloved lady, Mama Hawk, who is gone now, unfortunately. I used to help her trim every year, and she would have these big domes that were like 5 feet wide and 5 feet tall. And you know what I mean, Al?
Yeah.
And the look, that's the look that that's a plant, right? That's a pot plant. But when you see them all tall and lanky, you're like, what the fuck is that shit?
It doesn't mean anything. CBD, you're going to get less off the plant anyways. And the bottom of the plant...
It's also the hemp aspects. It's also the hemp aspects, right?
What is the bottom of the plant? It doesn't get much light anyway.
I cleaned that off. I just did that. I spent an hour and a half last night out in my garden, trimming off all that bottom crap, all that shit down there. That just uses up nutrients.
I've been doing that too, but been taking the fan leaves off it anyway. But anyway, let's go back to this.
I had some deer watching me.
So instead of going through this, because most people know your methods, okay, and Mary Jane was talking about topicals earlier. With doses, you have to, whatever way you're consuming cannabis, you got to watch your doses, and only you know this. When I went to get when I went, where's the one that I want now? There we go. When I went to get my license the first time, when I spoke to my doctor of almost 40 years, he was like, I don't know anything about doses.
Yeah.
I said, well, that's fucked up, but you'll give me a script for painkillers. I know doses.
Mhm.
Okay. So by going about that, I had to learn to teach my doctor about doses, how much work, but you can't say, here's a recipe, do this, because this recipe might be good for you, but it's not going to be good for that person.
The only
It's a good
recipe
for a
you can
base.
give is
It's a
the
good
start
base.
low
Yep.
and go slow.
That's right. That's right.
Low
Because
and
you know,
slow. Low
and
and
if you have too much, eat something. Not another cookie, not another brownie. Have a meal, have a drink, have a tea, calm down. It'll only last 20 minutes or so. And then you
Tell
can go
yourself
back
you're just
along with it.
high. You're just high.
You
It's
know,
okay.
I've
You
done
won't
it.
die.
I've ended up in the hospital from having a little wee too much edibles. It will happen during your investigations, as I like to call them.
But nobody's died. Nobody's died from cannabis consumption ever.
You know what?
It's okay.
You know what? That's
won't
not
die.
altogether true.
Someone died. A worker died from inhaling the dust of cannabis at a cannabis factory. He had asthma.
But that could have
Didn't
been
wear a
particles
mask.
from anything.
He
There was
didn't wear a
also a
mask.
guy.
He
there was
basically
also a
got
guy who got
overwhelmed with all the pollen in the air, right?
stuff.
It's which
Well-
is no different than somebody with hay fever walking into a farmer's field. Really.
There was a guy who was being chased by the cops because he had shit ton of weed in the back of his car. He
Yeah,
was
and it
running from
slammed
them
into
and
a
it
tree and it killed
crushed him. The weed crushed him when he got into an accident. Does the weed kill the driver? No, his driving did. Actually, some could argue that the police were to blame. Not me, but I'm just.
Does that
saying.
mean someone who's charged with impaired driving? It was the driving. I don't know. I'm not sure.
It didn't say he consumed any. He was just transporting it.
Okie dokie.
Yeah.
You're done your list there, Al?
I am. Yes.
All
Thank
right.
you for your input, Mary Jane.
We'll be back talking about in about 25.
Wait. I have a question about
Sure.
strains. Do you have a strain that you use for pain?
I haven't found the one
Or
that
relaxing?
I use. I haven't found the right one. I've got several strains that work for me, but I don't like. Depends also on the day and the type of pain, right?
Yep.
When I first got sick, I was using shishka berry. And then I lost it, unfortunately. And the strain that I grow now that I use for my pain and stuff is my Grape Escape, which happens to be partially shishka berry. For 14 years now, so that'd be my pick.
That's awesome. I can't get mine anymore. One was Romulan, and one is Violator Kush.
Oh yeah, I hadn't heard the Violator Kush. Ramen.
Ooh,
That was
and
it was around. I remember it being around years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, and Northern Lights number 5.
Right.
I have number 2, and I've got Pineapple Express, which leads me to this. I found this last week. I did this on 420 show the other day. This is from Potluck, and it's an ale of different strains. You got now, of course, they're falling all over the place.
There's 4, right?
There's 4. I've got orange layer cake, Pineapple Express, banana cream, and frosted cherry. I can hardly see. All right.
So I love that Potluck has branded all of their strains after like something you would bring to a potluck.
Well, it's also more consistent, like the strains that we're used to, right?
Name wise,
yeah. You know, it's not just strain number 432B5,
And
which is
out
what
to
they
the
started
listeners.
doing.
Okay, so you're
I was like the question out to the listeners now. What's the
All
strain
right,
you
yeah.
use?
What's your favorite strain? Let
What's
us
your
know in the
favorite strain?
comments.
Yeah,
We'll-
a high five. Yeah. High
yeah, that's
five.
right. In the meantime, we're going to run a short little 25-second commercial, and we'll be right back, and we'll be getting into some news at that point. All right, see you shortly. Are you looking for non-stop, continuous cannabis and psychedelic programming? If you are, then turn your browsers to 420radio.ca or paceradio.net, where you will find the 420 Pace re-rolled Saturday. Everything gets started at 8 a.m. Eastern Saturday morning. There we go. Make sure you catch that, people, because there's times where we'll start that, as I said, 8 o'clock in the morning, and it won't end till midnight. And it'll run continuously through. So it's just like watching regular television. Just put it on and sit back and enjoy, right? Alrighty.
I've been doing
News.
that with
News.
HGTV.
What's that?
I've been doing that with HGTV.
Yeah. You know what? There we go.
Do
It's
we have
news
a
time.
news intro? Yeah.
All right, there we go. Okay, the story that we discussed before we went live was the fact that oh geez, I don't even have that. Cannabis retailer Tokyo Smoke is closing 29 stores and is seeking creditor protection.
Now,
That's a lot of stores.
That's a lot of stores, and a lot of people are laughing at that because Tokyo Smoke came into the market and just went wham.
I don't know why people would be laughing. That's a lot of people out of work right now.
Yeah,
That's
is.
the sad
Yeah.
It's a
part
lot of
about it.
cannabis people that
Yeah.
are that
A
you
lot of
know.
people.
Yeah, that's the sad part about it. But yeah, they did come out. From my understanding, like I never went to any of the stores, but the one in downtown Toronto, when it opened, a lot of people described it as the Apple store.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they definitely went with a
big,
different feel.
funky, not interesting at all. It was very corporate. I've only been in one, and that was out in Oshawa.
You know
But
what?
they're
I've
all
been
the
in.
same.
I've been
It's
in a
like
few.
walking into a McDonald's. They're all the same.
You know what? I don't see like it's a certain type of person doesn't want to go into a store that is like they want to go into a store that looks like a store, not a store that looks like a back room in somebody's house that just set up shop. And
Right.
like that's like a lot of these places. I don't know.
They put
I'm like
too much
I'm
into it.
I think that what really boils down to is a company run like they actually care about their business. Like I used to go into the Tokyo Smoke here in Belleville, and I had a great relationship with the bud tenders. But you think you could get they couldn't even choose on what they were ordering. They would just get shipped order from head office. Like they literally would get 40 cases of the same friggin' drink, and like they're like, we already have like 12 in the back. Like, why are you doing
Right.
this?
Yeah.
So, like, some people who own businesses shouldn't own that business, I guess. And maybe this is what we're seeing.
Maybe. Yeah.
I'm
Could
just
be.
an uneducated consumer. What do I know?
Did they grow too big too fast?
Maybe. But
No,
if you're
this
not
is-
giving the customers what they want, like I stopped
Yeah.
going there because I couldn't get anything I wanted.
Correct. Exactly.
Like me and
Because
how many
if
other
you're-
people.
Yeah. The stores allowed me to, experiment and play around with some things, try different things. And, as we talked about at the beginning, the vape cartridge issue, right?
Yeah. Yeah, customer service is huge too. Like,
Yeah. And
I
if that's what someone was looking for, then, unfortunately, they might look at it as the store, it's the store's fault. But yeah. 29 stores, you said, is a lot of people.
It's a lot.
That will be without jobs.
Yeah.
They opened, if I remember correctly, when they opened several stores at the same time. And the only other real big chain that I know of, anyways, is Canna Cabana, and they seem to be doing all right.
Well, we had 3 shiny buds in my
What's a
city.
shiny bud like? Is it just a regular store or is it a foo-foo
They're
store?
gone now. Apparently, I drove past one the other day, and it said high cannabis on the
Correct.
sign, and I was
Yes.
like, and I
Yes.
googled high cannabis, and it said we have 3 locations in Belleville, and big
Correct.
So they've
surprise, they
been
were
bought
the
out.
same ones. And I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
Rebranding.
are you gonna order the product that I asked for? Like, and
Yeah.
honestly, I asked for products that I know are going to sell, and I
Well, you
don't
know,
understand why you don't even have them on your shelf.
be it a pot
It-
store, a booze
Is it
store, a
pay to
beer
play?
store, it doesn't matter. When you go into a store that is for your consumption, alcohol, beer, whatever, you want the products that you want. And if they don't have it, then you go somewhere else. But the issue is when a neighborhood of stores don't have what you want and you have to go out of your neighborhood, it's kind of redundant. I mean, in Toronto, there's so many stores now that you're literally going into the variety store of cannabis in Toronto now. You know,
Mhm.
it's
Yeah,
it's
a
a
lot of
little
them. A lot of them are really
disappointing.
good.
But there are a lot of
I
good stores. I enjoy going into a cafe. I like cafe. They're very friendly. They have a good selection, and you can get a tea and a coffee while you're waiting in line to go in.
Yeah. Well, I know I've brought it up before, but
Sure, why not?
Spirit Leaf in Campbellford is by far one of the
Yeah.
best cannabis stores that I found. It mainly because like customer service is great. If you don't know what you need, the knowledge of the staff is extremely good. If there's a product you're looking for, they'll do their damnedest to bring it in.
Yeah, I asked first time I was in there, actually. I had asked Eric about getting the Remo infused joints in.
Yep.
And so he asked me about them, and I told him about the joints and told him all about Remo. And he said, sure. So he had to order a case. And when I had talked to him, probably, I'm going to say maybe a month later about them, he had sold like 5 cases of them.
Yep.
Yeah, and I said, holy shit, like, how'd you do that? And he says, I just told him what you told me. Like, and, maybe some people knew them, but yeah, they, and of course I did a little promo of the joint in the local group in Campbellford. They can't promote, but there's nothing that stops you or me from promoting something.
Yeah.
Shout out to Spirit Leaf for bringing me in this joint, man. Look at it.
Yeah. I went there because it was the only place I could find the drink I was looking for.
The sheesh?
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't have it here. I go into my cannabis because I've become friends with the guys there and the owner Tyler, and they have a really good collection. I mean, they are the only cannabis store an hour in either direction.
See, I would be curious because you live so far north, what the OCS delivery would be like to you from purchase to delivery.
Once a week. They get deliveries once a week. I don't want to say what day, obviously, but they get deliveries once a week. And but there are a lot of silly rules.
Not OCS to them, OCS to you directly.
Like you to order something online.
3 days.
Something online, OCS.
Yeah, because from OCS they have. This pissed me off. Okay, I want.
But it's actually more expensive to go through OCS.
Well, see, yes and no, because it depends on what the store charges.
You don't have, yeah, fair enough. I mean,
every store is different.
I get a bag of Slurricane Shatterizer shatter for 33 and change, and I'm okay with that because I've always gotten shatter, even at the markets in Hamilton, for $20 a gram. But what I like is that you have the option, and my cannabis brings in stuff like from Royalty, where you have a different selection, stuff like Potluck, So I mean, even though the owner doesn't consume, he's really trying to bring in things that we need in the area, because like I said, they are the only store within an hour anywhere near here. So
yeah, a good owner
a little
management
store
can make a huge difference.
a little store might be a little bit more expensive because they buy less than a can of Cabana, where you can go in and get a cheap ounce. And you know, you on the average here, you're looking between $100 and $150 for a budget ounce through a legal store here.
That's about the same here.
And it's about the same online as well, except for the fact that you have to pay for shipping.
Yeah. Well, the thing that frustrated me was when I
was the shipping. What was the shipping?
Yeah.
And that's what the origin of the question.
Said, yeah, because you could get whatever products. So this is what I was getting at. So I was looking for sheesh for a couple months, and the store that was trying to order them for me, every time she went online, it said they were unavailable. And I said, well, that's weird, because on the OCS, it's available. And she said, what? I'm on the OCS. But she was on the retailer side, like on the wholesale, on them. And as I said, well, go on just the OCS. And as soon as she went over to like the normal, like me, just like just a customer, consumer, public going on to buy some sheesh, I could order sheesh no problem. And she's like, what the hell is that? It's because OCS apparently takes the stock when they get it and they go, this is going this way and this is going this way.
Oh yeah. Well, they have to keep some back of everything in order to be able to supply it to their customers who are online.
I don't want to. Where I live, anybody could pick that shit up off my step because they don't even make you sign for it.
They need to remove the OCS completely out of the picture and let the stores handle it. OCS can do the distribution, but OCS is just confusing things. And they and their websites are not informative about their products. Yes, when you go into a legal store, you can only do one of two things: take it and go home and try it, or do what I do, the squish test, because the squish test is the only thing that's going to tell you if that bud is going to be really hard and crumbly and dry, or most places, including in these little containers, they have a. Are you waving at me, Al?
No, I'm squishing.
Oh. They have the little packs.
Yeah.
The humidor packs in these, which is really cool. Packs. I really, really like this. I'm gonna get more potluck and see what other strains they have.
All righty. We're done with the news, headline news. Now on to
Did you hear my shorts?
No, we're on to sports. And today, I got a little thing I got to close.
Oh, God. Al's in trouble.
There we go. Marijuana use is becoming more commonly accepted in sports, according to a study funded by the NFL. So there you go. It's good to know that more sports are maybe getting, aren't banning people for cannabis use.
As it should be like that. We shouldn't be banning them for using a safer alternative for recovery and sleep and stress management, or even just recreational. Let them do it.
Yeah, they talk about the knowledge gap, and they say due to prohibition, we currently have a generation of healthcare providers with minimal understanding of the substance that is increasingly available for both therapeutic and recreational purposes. This knowledge gap needs to be addressed. Restrictive policies and over-regulations have hampered an opportunity for Canada and U.S. global leaders in cannabinoid research.
That's what Al was saying with his doctor.
Yeah,
I think that we should be calling medical cannabis therapeutic cannabis now.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
Now, sure. If we remember, it's still breaking the habits of saying things like.
Well, yeah.
Yep.
Government
like
doesn't think it's medicine.
Yeah. Now, they say the study was done the University of Saskatchewan and the University of Regina, right here in Canada.
Nice.
It was done for the NFL's pain management end of things.
I was going to say,
They back in
Regina's in
22, they
Canada?
announced $1 million in funding to do cannabinoid, basically research on pain management and concussion protection. I wonder how they made that with the concussion protection. Education is a proven harm reduction strategy, according to the report. Well, if the efforts are made to provide information to the public on potential harms of cannabis products, equal efforts should be made to research and understand the potential benefits. Here.
That's awesome.
Yeah. They say misinformation, stigma, and barriers to research continue to perpetrate the confusion of the public regarding the potential therapeutic use of cannabinoids. A focus primarily on the negative messaging does not align with the anecdotal positive experiences of a growing number of people using cannabis products and contributes to a lack of trust in the health policymakers. Yes. So I look at that as being positive news. Hey, we got to investigate all these health things, benefits, not just the nasty stuff, right?
Well, yeah, but the Canadian government, even though they have a medical program, still does not recognize cannabis as a medical alternative.
Yeah.
They haven't even changed the wording on their website. It's still with the H, not the ja.
It's marijuana.
Juana.
Yeah.
Juana.
They talk about the NBA. They mentioned Major League Baseball, NFL. So Marijuana Moment's got long articles, but it's good to see that there's some positive there. Now, in a non-cannabis news, sports news, recently, just so you know, that Toronto Blue Jay, an ex-Toronto Blue Jay, became the first in Major League Baseball history to play in the same game for both teams.
I heard this.
Yeah, I got to bring this up because...
so Timmy explained to me, because I was like, how is that even possible?
Yeah, it was the rain delay.
Yeah, so he played one game as a Blue Jay.
Started the game as a Blue Jay. The game was put into a rain delay.
Yep.
It was rescheduled.
They had to stop it halfway through.
It could be weeks. It could be months down the road, weeks down the road. And he was traded to that team.
In the meantime, he was traded to the exact same team. So,
And then he had, so,
that is, I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
So when they came back from the rain delay, he had to play he was playing with the other team.
Correct. So he was playing against his teammates, his former teammates. Yeah.
And now they must have had a lot of fun with that.
Yeah, I would imagine. It would be, even just like the people on TV and doing the interviews. I'm sure that was all brought up, and be quite the thing. It'd be quite the thing, being that everybody always talks about home runs and so on and so forth, but to be the only guy after all these years to play
that's history
for both teams in the same game, it is history. So, all righty, there we go. That's our new sports news, our headline news, and now it's time for events
and entertainment.
Yeah, go ahead. What do we got for events?
Okay, so I tried to give you 2 weeks of events, cannabis events. So starting September 5th, I can't say starting, on September 5th in Edmonton, Alberta, you can go to Kind Gardens, which I think everybody knows what Kind does. They do the activations, so you get to meet cannabis brands. It's a lot of fun. This one is indoors, which I'm kind of jealous about because ours here in Ontario is outdoors. But anyways, September 6th and 7th, the 5th annual New Jersey Cannabis Convention is happening in Atlantic City. So if you're south of the border, for our friends down there. September 12th, Elevate Expo is having their launch party in Etobicoke, Ontario. If you want tickets, you better act fast. I did see they were moving at a crazy rate. And
Where's that?
September.
Yeah, I was
That's
just
in.
say what's okay, finish your report.
No,
and we'll
no,
ask
it's
about it.
okay. It's all right. Let's talk about Elevate. We'll say.
Okay, yeah. All right. What's that all about?
Okay, so the Elevate
I hadn't
Expo
heard.
is an expo for cannabis.
Okay.
It happens in Etobicoke, Ontario, at a banquet hall. It's a beautiful building. The floors are awesome for roller skating. Just saying. They're doing their launch party. I'm not sure if they're doing the expo yet. I haven't seen any info on that, but the launch party is happening on the
okay.
12th.
All right. So this is just a launch party. Okay.
Mhm.
Yep. So sometime there's
Yeah,
going to be an
yeah.
expo.
Yes, I think it's like a gala type event. Either way, it's going to be an awesome bash. The expo itself,
Expo.
I think it was last year. It was all the food was covered. It was delicious. It was like it's a party you don't want to miss. If you're thinking about I want to go to a cannabis event in the next couple weeks, check it out. And then in Richmond, BC is the Summer Sesh. I didn't actually do a lot of research because it seemed more like it was literally just like an expo. And I was like, well, why are you calling it a Summer Sesh? That's not really it felt
yeah.
it felt like they were looking for a cannabis comfortable term to call their event, like Summer Sesh. And I really feel like they missed the mark because it's September 12th.
Well, fall, I was thinking the same. Fall doesn't kick in, I think, until September 20th.
Officially, yeah, it's like the 21st or some whatever.
Yeah,
is the first day of fall,
correct.
but like
Yeah.
once the kids go to school, summer's over. Just saying, it's the first day of school. It's summer's over. And then I do want to mention Kenny versus Spenny is having their 20th year anniversary. It is their last tour. If you love Kenny versus Spenny, ever wanted to see them, get yourself a ticket. They have a couple places in Ontario. They're hitting the road on September 11th, visiting Hamilton, Brantford, Chatham, Cambridge, Toronto, and then they're off to Alberta. If you want information on that, go to the diamondmineagency.ca. And then for entertainment, I'd like to talk to you about an upcoming movie that is releasing this Friday in most places, but it is, do you guys know, it's a sequel to a movie that came out a while ago. You got it. That's right, Beetlejuice.
I can't
Tony
wait.
and I have already pre-purchased.
I'll be sitting here looking up movie. Where are you? Where are you? Because there ain't nowhere to see it here.
Now you mentioned Kenny and Spenny, whatever.
Yes,
so
Kenny versus Spenny.
So that's this. Oh yeah, what's that all about? That's
that is, yeah. Oh, and I did do another event thing too. It's okay.
I noticed.
Thank you for finding that.
Oh, okay. Well, I just found the other one that I didn't play because it wasn't in order. Do you want me to put it?
You can put it up. You can put it up.
This is the one I missed. And that'll be the one for your healthy tip.
Yes, the healthy.
I've got it I've moved it around now.
That's right. I just noticed that they both have the same music.
Oh
yeah, there's way too much stuff in there now.
All right, well, we'll delete it.
We just got to keep it in order. It was down at the bottom. It was just new. Someone it had been moved up, so she's all in order now. So we've done the entertainment. Anything else you want to mention, event-wise?
No, other than I'm super excited to go see Beetlejuice.
Okay,
I'm looking forward to it as well.
Yeah,
I haven't been to a theater in decades.
I didn't say I was going to a theater.
I
just said I'm looking forward to it. I want to just mention quickly our little boxes down there beside Mary Jane on our feed. If you've got a cannabis or non-cannabis related business or event or whatever, and you'd like us to have it mentioned, please let us know, and we'll go from there. You can contact any one of us.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sounds good.
Reach out.
Reach out.
And touch us. No, don't touch us.
Reach out and touch me.
Alrighty. It is now time for
Munchie
Alright.
time.
Munchie time.
That looks so
And
good.
I don't know if this is whether you would consider this a munchie, but I had never heard of it until I had spotted it, and I put it in the Grassroots Advocate magazine. Found it pace-online.ca, and that is Devils on Horseback bacon wrapped dates.
Ooh.
Oh, oh, that's not bacon and date.
I don't know.
Okay.
So they say to grab 16 pitted dates, 2 tablespoons of goat cheese, 4 teaspoons of can butter, and 8 strips of bacon cut in half crosswise.
Yeah, I don't know.
Now you got to preheat the oven to 325 degrees. Now with a small knife, make a slit in each date and open it, spread it open. And in a small bowl, thoroughly combine the goat cheese with the can of butter.
Yeah, no thanks.
And then divide the mixture.
You lost me there with goat cheese out.
I'm still trying to figure out which way I'm supposed to cut the bacon.
Crosswise.
What is it? What the fuck is crosswise? That's like folding the cheese. Jesus.
We're supposed to do it crosswise, anyways, on an angle. Instead of just cutting it straight across, we cut it on an angle. Now, divide the mixture among the dates, pressing it into the center and closing the dates after filling. So you take your dates, open it up, and shove this stuff inside it, right? Then wrap a piece of bacon around the stuffed date. Now, you put the dates and the bacon seam down on a baking sheet, so it's put on the bottom. And that way, the weight keeps the things together. I don't know, maybe you could use I see they got a toothpick in it. And then bake until bacon is crispy. That's about 10 minutes. There you go. 10-minute food item to deal with your munchies.
That's baking.
You can do a stir fry in 10
How long is
minutes.
prep?
But 10 minutes isn't like cooking a whole chicken. You know, I go through that.
No, but going to the grocery store to buy a cooked chicken is.
And then you still got to strip it when you get home. You got to debone it.
I
So
know
there
exactly.
you go.
For those
That
of us who are
is
like me,
that's a
this is-
recipe. Now
this is cutting the bacon crosswise.
that's I took it as an angle.
I think
Yeah,
they mean-
exactly.
I think they mean like longwise, right?
Oh,
That would be lengthwise.
we
Yeah,
have
I know, but I think that's what they mean.
Well, they couldn't put widthwise.
side to side.
That's crosswise. If you're watching, please let us know. Fucking
Now it's through a
crosswise.
whole interpretation of angle makes it fancy.
I want to know if anybody makes this. Let me know if it turns
Now
out.
I do have a second recipe there, and I've never made them, but I'm sure Mary Jane, something tells me that you probably
it?
have. I'm gonna pull that back up again just quickly.
If it's a sweet treat, probably.
Yeah, it is because it's
You know it's not sauerkraut.
it's lollipops.
I've actually
Really?
yet to do hard candy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've never made hard candy either. I figured that you had them.
I've
So-
done gummies. I love gummies,
Yeah.
but they're bad for me.
Yeah,
Gelatin.
for these they say 1/4 cup of can of butter, 1/2 cup of light corn syrup, 3/4 of a cup of sugar. This is all comes from medicalmarijuana.ca. A few drops of food coloring, your choice, and then lollipop sticks, and lightly greased cookie sheet, a quarter pan, and a candy thermometer.
And
I've never
probably
made
some flavoring to flavor your, like some
that
not in there, because those
no,
would taste very much just like sugary cannabis.
it would. There is nothing. There is
Okay,
nothing.
so as a baker, my light bulb just went off and went, oh, you know what you could do? I've got some awesome jackfruit
Uh-huh.
flavoring. You could put some of that. You could put orange flavoring. You could make them whatever flavor you wanted.
Yeah,
Can
you
I ask
could.
you a question, Mary Jane?
Sure.
Was it an LED light bulb?
I don't know. You didn't see it? I just felt it.
I was looking at the ingredient list, so I wasn't able to see you.
Yeah. Yeah, I would
Yeah.
suggest, like, if I made that, I would add some
Flavor
couple
to
drops
it.
of flavor. Yeah.
Yeah,
sure.
I would. Yeah, because they say to add the butter, syrup, and sugar together in a 1-quart saucepan. Boil the ingredients to 270 degrees. And from my understanding, that's very important.
Yes.
That
And
you
keep
ha-
stirring.
Yeah, yeah,
There's
yeah.
a reason why I haven't tried it yet.
Is that
Um,
not too hot? Won't that start burning things off?
I would think it would start taking some
I would think
terpenes
so.
off. Yeah.
Yeah.
They said to add what's up the temperature, add the coloring, and turn down the heat. Lay the lollipop sticks on a greased cookie sheet, leaving room to pour suckers around them.
So you just drop the mixture onto the
Yeah.
top of the
Now
stick.
I'm going to add to that. I made some chocolate once.
Mhm.
I made chocolate, and then I took some lollipop sticks, and I went to the bulk store and bought a pan that had shapes on it, and you put your lollipop sticks in the shapes, and you fill up the hole where your shape is, and your stick is inside your product when you're done.
Is that a mold?
It's like a mold, yeah, plastic mold, correct.
I have one of those too, a silicone mold. I made chocolates too. I've even put sprinkles in the bottom and then poured the chocolate over
Yeah.
top, and it's super
Can
simple.
you add, and you can add a lollipop stick
The
to
stick.
it.
Yeah,
the one
it's
I bought is
perfect.
plastic. So
Yeah, I like the silicone because you can peel them. Because my intention was to make hard candy, and you don't want to be like yanking the plastic out of like a hard thing out of the plastic, right?
yeah.
You can get them at Michael's fairly cheap. I will say Michael's is literally my favorite store for all my baking supplies, because if they're not on sale, you can use a coupon for like 40% off. Just go to their website, michaels.com or michaels.ca.
Hey, that's not a paid commercial.
No, that's just me. I love their baking stuff. And I love deals, so I like to share.
There you go. Passing them on. So when you go there,
Sure.
you've told everybody about them. They've already bought them, and you don't have any when you get there.
You know what? Self-checkout is the best thing they've done at Michael's, because I used to have to scan my code, go out to the car and come back in and scan my code again. So that way I would buy 2 things
Yeah.
at 40% off. Now self-checkout, I just scan one, pay for it. Next, scan another, pay for it.
When
And then I leave.
now we're at the chit chat end of the broadcast. The on Sunday we went to a store, and there was a lineup at the self checkout.
Ugh.
So we just went around it and went right up to the teller.
Yep.
There
That's sad.
wasn't anybody in line.
I know, it's crazy that now nobody even wants to talk to people. I go to the self checkout out of necessity because I have a face that says, "Tell me your life story."
Wow. And then I saw people that were in front of us that went to the self checkout line.
Mhm.
We walked by them. Like I said, I walked right up into the till, and then those people came right in.
Yeah, they
behind.
were like, "What the hell are we doing?"
Yeah, exactly. That's all we did, eh?
Yeah. Well, I think some people just out of habit are going to the self checkout because that's what, most of the time the normal tills are lined up. People with tons of groceries. Self checkout is almost like express.
Yeah.
I've never seen anybody with a cart full of stuff go through self-checkout.
I do.
Except at Walmart. Except
I
at
do.
Walmart.
No, I do. I go if there's a self checkout, and I'm not feeling like standing in line. I'll go right, and I'll do it, and I'll
Yeah, if
hold
it's
back.
quicker, for sure.
Who are you?
Mhm.
If it's faster, for sure. My biggest problem is I keep forgetting to bring the fucking bags into the store.
Yeah, me too. But I don't do lines. I get very, very uncomfortable, very edgy because my back starts hurting really quick. My feet start hurting really quick. So
Oh, I was going to say that's an ADHD thing, but no,
no,
yours is a
and
pain thing.
there's that
Yours is
too.
the
But
pain
no,
thing, it's
it's
different.
mostly pain because by the time I'll be experiencing maybe this afternoon actually. By the time we go to 4 or 5 different stores, you know, I'm like, no, we're going to start going to the shopping place first because then I get what I need and I'm not going through quick. Right.
Yeah, I always just load everything back into the cart with no bags because I'm not buying more
And they
bags.
take it to the car. That's what Dean does. He takes it to the car and bags stuff.
No, it's so bad now that my bags are at my home. I literally I put everything into the trunk all loose. And then I go home and run in the house and grab the bags and then go to the car, throw everything in. Like I've refused.
Yeah,
I'm not paying for more
I don't
bags.
do that.
I know Gail has a bag of bags.
I have a bag. I was just going to say,
a big
I
bag.
have a bag of bags that I take to when the bag is full on the kitchen table. I take it into the car and I leave it in the car. What do you want, lady?
Yeah,
Gail
mine can't
leaves work.
stay in the car.
11:30. It's time to go. The dog's here.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Gail goes shopping right from work. So she doesn't even come home because of us
That's
being
smart.
out of town. And so she just has a great big bag of bags that she takes in with her. And
Well,
fills them up.
the good thing here is the store here is in the process of changing from what's the big chain there, Sobeys to Loblaws, and so we're getting basically a lot of yellow. Yeah, Loblaws.
Blahs.
We're changing to Fresh Mart, which is yellow store stuff, as I call it. PC, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And
PC
so they
has some really good stuff though.
They've brought in Ziggy's delicatessen meat, and I'm like, yeah, that is the closest to real deli that you can get in a supermarket today.
Come here.
Ziggy's is good.
Ziggy's in Toronto used to be deli.
Oh yeah, exactly.
It used to be a deli, right?
Yeah.
Then they went into the supermarkets, and now it's owned. I mean, the brand is owned by blah blahs. But hello, cat.
That fat cat.
Hey,
oh, he's 20 pounds.
Holy, I heard you pick him up.
Yeah, and the thing is that when we first got him,
you don't need to sit over there.
The vet.
It's okay.
We had to take him. We had to rush him into the vet, and the vet gave him a needle and said he's got 20% chance to live.
Oh,
yeah.
Look at him. He looks healthy as heck.
Yeah.
So he's okay now?
Huh?
He's okay.
Well, yeah. He had a respiratory issue when he was a kitten, and we adopted him from Camelford Cat Initiative, who takes in feral cats, right? And he was a feral. His mother was a feral, and his immune system is weak. And that was the issue was respiratory issue. Now? But it's also now he's developed an eye infection, which is because of the habit.
Feral cats get a lot more infections and
correct.
Yeah.
And he so we've had him on eye drops for quite a while.
I'll tell you, just from experience,
his eyes is a lot better because it's been a steady, and Gail doesn't have to give it to him every day anymore. So
I found with Steven, who's now 14, he's always had an eye drippy thing,
Yeah.
and he gets upper respiratory infections.
Yeah, he's
right?
about Odie's about 8 or 9.
Yeah.
Yeah. Garfield, he's around 14. He was a feral cat as well, but he hasn't had any health issues. He's been really good. So.
Well, Steven's had a couple of scares, as you know. One at the farm, where he almost died. But he's better here. He had kidney issues here. Right, that was scary over last Christmas.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. All righty. Well, what do you say? I see it's the bottom of the hour. You got anything else you want to discuss offhand?
No.
Or is it time to say goodbye?
To say bong bye.
Bong bye. We'll see you all next week. Same place, same channel.
Same bong time, same bong channel.
That's right. All right. It's that time to say bye-bye. See you all next week. Bye.
Bye, guys.
You're watching the 420 Pace Network, found at 420radio.ca and paceradio.net. Are you looking for non-stop, continuous cannabis and psychedelic programming? If you are, then turn your browsers to 420radio.ca or paceradio.net, where you will find the 420 Pace Re-Rolled Saturday. Everything gets started at 8 a.m. Eastern Saturday morning.